Hello and welcome to the Becker Private Equity and the Becker Business Podcast. My name is Chanel Bunger, and today I'm excited to speak with regular guest Liz Hutson, principal consultant and owner at EGH LLC, who joins us today to discuss the importance of showcasing the why. Liz, thank you as always for joining me.
Great to talk with you, Chanel. I'm excited to talk about this topic.
Excited as well to get into things. But before we did, could you get us started out by giving a brief introduction for listeners that may not be acquainted with you yet?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Liz Hutson. I'm the founder and the principal consultant of EGH, and we're a healthcare product and service consulting firm which is highly focused on private equity space. In particular, we specialize in change management.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Now, moving forward into the meat of the podcast a bit. When organizations are going through change, reactions can really vary. What role does clearly communicating the why play in getting people on board?
Yeah, exactly. So, as I mentioned, we're an organization that focuses on change. We help lots of companies out there that are navigating, whether it be integrations, mergers and acquisitions, or just some kind of change in their organization. And when we're in the middle of change or transition, things often feel chaotic. And people typically respond to that change in one of three ways. Either first, they're excited, they're like, let's go, this is great. Second, some people respond with confusion, and that leads to paralysis, and they're not sure what it means or what to do next. And then third, it can lead to frustration. And that's when people dig their heels in, or sometimes they even start moving in the opposite direction. And as leaders, we spend a lot of time planning for, thinking through the big picture, the strategy, the impact, the financials, where the organization needs to go. But one mistake that leaders often make is assuming that everyone else already sees that same picture. We as leaders, we've spent hours, sometimes months thinking about it, but the rest of the organization hasn't gone on that same journey with us yet. And oftentimes I see that leaders skip right past sharing that journey, or they don't adequately explain it. But if we want people to move in that direction of change, of where we're trying to go, one of the most powerful things we can do is to showcase the why. So that's the context for this conversation.
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much for giving us that brief outline. And now, digging a little bit deeper, can you expand on that idea that people are more open to change when they understand the why? What shifts when that clarity is there?
Yeah,
I'll
there's
hear.
two ideas I'd like to focus on, and two real simple ideas. They're simple but hard. The first is that people, the organization, generally are much more open to change when they understand the why. And one way that I like to explain this is this idea of here to there. Anytime I'm working with my own team or with our clients or even with family and friends, I talk about the here to there. We start with here. That's our current state. That's where we are right now. And we think about, particularly in change and transition, what isn't working today? Where are we falling short? What problems might we be experiencing? And when people understand the reality or the pain of their current situation, it helps to build context. So when we're here, then we talk about let's move there being the future state. What could be better? That might be serving customers more effectively. Maybe it's creating a healthier work environment. Maybe it's building a stronger or more sustainable financial position. The more clearly we can paint the picture of there, and the more specific that we are, the easier it is for people to visualize that path forward and understand that why behind the change. And when they can see that vision, when they can see the why really clearly, they're much more likely to rally around it. So that's that first idea. Generally, how do we help people go there when they understand the why very broadly? That's a general movement forward.
Got it. And now that we know how to generally connect people to the why, how would you do it at a specific or individual level?
Yeah, exactly. So the second part, so generally organizations, people can go, okay, I get why the company wants to go there. I get why that's important to them or to the organization broadly. But people become much more specifically open to change when they can connect the why to their within. Within, WIIFM, that stands for what's in it for me. So when they can connect the why to their within, now they get really specific because every team member naturally asks this question. They want to know, how is this going to affect my role? How is this going to affect my work? How does this change my experience day to day? And I don't think that that's a selfish thing. I think it's human. I think it's personal. And when leaders do a good job of helping people connect the broader why, the company why, to their own vantage point, the change for the individual becomes so much more tangible. They can see how it might help, how it might improve their work environment, how it helps make their job easier, where it creates opportunities, where it helps the customer, or ultimately leads to a stronger organization that they're really proud to be a part of. So when people can connect a strategy to their own specific experience, they're even more likely to get on board. So that's how we get from general excitement for something to specific. And now this becomes personal, it becomes very specific to them.
I love that. Well, Liz, I want to thank you for your time today. But before I let you go, is there anything else that listeners should know?
Yeah, just I guess to summarize that, right, is just when organizations are navigating change, I want leaders to really think and act on communicating the why in two ways. First, generally, helping organizations understand their journey from here, current state, to their future state. And second, really specifically, helping individuals in the organization see what the future means for their own perspective. Because when people in the organization understand both, they're so much more likely to move forward with the leader.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Liz, I want to thank you once again for your time today and for sharing your insights on the Becker Private Equity and the Becker Business Podcast. Thank you.
Thanks, Chanel. Great to talk with you.